Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com. This season of the Urban Conservative Podcast is brought to you by Newton for Senate, working to improve education, reduce taxes, and keep North Carolina #1 for business. Find out more at newtonforsenate.com. This episode of the Urban Conservative has also been sponsored by Case Technology Consulting. Help your business get value out of its data and become more efficient and streamlined. Case Technology Consulting. Check out the link in the description.
I'm trying to keep from staying low. No key is over, you can't reach what you don't know. I'm moving different, running circles round them folk. They say your failures teach you everything and more. Look.
What up? Top of the morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Abdul Ali. You're checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. Top of the morning here on the Urban Conservative and Millennium News 24. We really want to give you a big shout out. So jump in the comments if you're watching live. Let us know where you're watching from this morning. And as always, mugshot time. We're in our TUC into it this morning. One of the interesting things we need to talk about here on the show. Let's just call it what it is. The media wants to pretend like there are no black people, no Hispanic people, no Asian people that like Donald Trump. Now, why they want to do that is because if you remember during the primary debates when he was running back in 2016, he made a very poignant statement when they were talking about how there were special interest and donors in the audience and they were booing him and all that kind of thing. He made a very poignant statement. He said, I don't need your money. These guys need your money. The Jeb Bushes need your money. The Hillary Clintons need your money. I don't need your money. That was one of the things why the left doesn't like Donald Trump, because he's not in their pockets. Especially the Soroses of the world, the radical leftists of the world. Donald Trump's not in their pocket. But the question is, why do black people, some secretly, some like us, not so secretly, like Donald Trump? Why? Well, a part of that is what this gentleman, Rissa Islam, had to say about the whole Donald Trump situation. We're going to share this with you guys here. But the interesting thing is, let us know if you agree with what Rissa Islam has to say here, because I think he's actually right in what he's talking about here. So I'm going to play this, and y'all just tell me what you think here. Listen to this.
Everybody's watching, don't trip. Not for the reasons that many others may like him, but because I want a person to be honest with me. If you don't like me, tell me you don't like me. I don't need you to sit here and smile on my face, stab me in the back. Main thing when it comes to January 6th is that this is a person who was the actual active sitting president of an entire nation. You can censor the president of a nation, and no one is going to question exactly what the implications of that will be down the line for all the rest of us? See, I wasn't looking at, okay, if it was right or wrong. I was looking at the fact of you just censored the president of the United States. What does that mean for anyone else below him? All of us. Anything that we're going to say. Freedom of speech, right? The First Amendment, freedom of religion, speech, press, petition, assembly. Okay, so what does that mean? If you can censor the president of the actual country, what does that mean? So again, at that point, I don't care if he's white or black, Republican, Democrat, Donald Trump. I don't give a damn. You just censored the president, which means I have no chance.
Wow. I agree with him. And that's part of the reason why, and secretly in some cases, a lot of black folks like Donald Trump. That first section there is that the guy is honest. Dave Chappelle talked about how he came out, told us, look, there's all of this stuff going on back there. And it is as dirty, it is as corrupt, it is as filthy as you think it is, and more. So I think a big part of why folks like me and others secretly like Donald Trump is because of that honesty factor. Now, is there a level of BS-ishness that comes across when you're speaking political jargon? Sure. But of all the politicians that we've seen, at least in my lifetime, other than to a certain extent Bill Clinton, is the most honest guy you could find. Another big reason why folks like Donald Trump, and this is something that I think if you don't know, you just don't know. If you weren't around for this, you just won't know this. Look at that. The Platinum Plan. Now, this just wasn't a standard old kumbaya, attempt. This was President Trump's Platinum Plan and promise to Black America. Opportunity by achieving historic employment levels for Black Americans, as well as increasing access to capital for new businesses. President Trump has been committed to ensuring all Black Americans can receive the American dream. How much access to capital have Democrats fought for? By signing into law the celebrated First Step Act, Trump brought common sense criminal justice reform to the American people for the first time in decades, while ensuring that the streets and communities are safe for families and business owners. Now, I want to harp on something about this First Step Act, and here's why I want to say something about this First Step Act. Because check this out. I'll never forget this. This was during the 2020 election, during the Super Bowl. Okay, the elections in the height of in the swing, and Donald Trump's Super Bowl commercial came on, and I was at a former friend of mine's house. I thought he was a friend, and I make the comment. I say, "That's amazing that you have a president who is actually fighting for criminal justice reform, and he had the sister that got out of jail as a result of this First Step Act, and the people that he had pardoned." I'll never forget this. The dude and his mom looked at me and was like, "You can't be serious, can you?" And I'm like, "I'm dead serious. Think about what this means. Actual, tangible criminal justice reform. People actually, the thing that the left tells us, right? Black people are unfortunately more incarcerated than anybody else. The criminal justice system is against Black people. Here you have a guy who's actually doing something about it. Yo, Trump went and fixed more prison sentences for people, and I'll never forget this. He was telling all the NFL players, all the woke NFL players, all the woke NBA players, you got a friend that's got a case that's jacked up, get it to me and I'll take a look at it. How many of those people you think actually took advantage of somebody who was dead serious? So that's another reason why Black folks like Trump, they may not tell you, they might not say it out front. Now, I will. Diamond and Silk will, Mark Robinson will, Raheem Soto will, and a bunch of other people I know will, but there's a lot of people in the Black community who on the low really like Trump and won't say it. Now, why won't they say it? That becomes the problem. The problem is, and I'm going to, something, I'll share this with you all, and I didn't know I was going to do this, but in relation to this whole idea that there are Black folks who like Trump and won't say anything secretly, sometimes you got to deal with ignorance, right? And one of the things is, I posted this picture the other day. Y'all know we have this campaign called the GOP Looks Like Me campaign, right? And I posted this picture from the GOP Looks Like Me campaign the other day. Now look at that picture, right? It just says the GOP looks like me. And what I want to do a point your attention to is this comment right here. S-word, that's a lie, okay? I want y'all to see my response. I could see why you would think that. I know it's unfortunate you don't know any better. And I know, and I and other Black people you don't know anything about are actually leaders in the GOP. That's partially the fault of the media you consume and our fault, and something we've been working on. Fact of the matter is, we probably agree about way more than you think we disagree about. Fact of the matter is, you probably didn't know NC has more Black people in GOP leadership than any other state. Fact is, you probably had no idea how hard many of the GOP work to fix some of the issues facing Black Americans today. I don't know you and you don't know me, but rest assured, the GOP looks like me and a whole lot of other people who look like us, who care about us and want to see our communities thrive. And my man Emmanuel Jarvis, shouts out to District Chairman Emmanuel Jarvis. He said, I'm in that photo and the GOP absolutely looks like me. And that's what the GOP is starting to look like, folks. A lot of people in this room right here got none but love for Donald Trump. So when the media comes out and has this narrative, black people don't like Donald Trump, black people scared of Donald Trump, black people don't want to be bothered with Donald Trump, you're wrong. You're completely, totally, 1,000,000% wrong. Black people love Donald Trump. Puffy liked Donald Trump. Oprah liked Donald Trump. Mike Tyson loves Donald Trump. Jim Brown likes Donald Trump. Kanye West likes Donald Trump. Lynn Patton likes Donald Trump. Diamond and Silk like Donald Trump. So now you got to go back and take away their blackness. That's the only other thing you have left at this point is they not really black. They don't understand they people. They licking the white man boot. That's all you got at this point. That's all you could go back and say. These angry leftists can go back and say is, oh, they just sucking up to the white man. You know, they in the pocket of the white man. Well, you'd be wrong about that. And you're definitely wrong about the fact that there's no black people that like Donald Trump. You're dead wrong. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. We're going to take a quick commercial break. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
Just because you're black doesn't mean you have to vote Democrat. This year, in order to see benefits for our communities, we need to vote outside the box. Find out more by visiting us at tuconservative.com.
Millennium TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
Welcome back to Top of the Morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. I got to give a big up to all of our sponsors, our underwriters. Big up to Kelly Harmon, Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Y'all going to see her ad coming up here soon. But big up to her for coming on board as a sponsor. You too can support what we do here on the platform by visiting tuconservative.com. Get yourself a membership. Click that sponsor an episode button. We'd love to have you on board. You know, we reached over 1 million people in 2022, and it's going to get bigger. So please, tuconservative.com. Get yourself a mug. Get yourself a T-shirt. Get yourself a sponsorship. We'd appreciate that. One other thing, as we transition over, because we were just talking about how black people, by and large, minorities in America, they may not say it. They may secretly like Donald Trump. Now, I want to talk about something here because you won't vote for Trump, some people will say. You like him, but you won't vote for him, some people might say. But you'd vote for Kamala Harris, okay? You'd vote for somebody whose policies, by and large, have nothing to do with helping our communities. And why would I say that? Abdul, why would you say that Kamala Harris's policies have nothing to do with benefiting our community? Well, let's talk about Kamala Harris's record. Number one, sleeping with a married man, okay? We won't even get into that. Her record as the Attorney General for the state of California, keeping black men specifically in prison to work for the prisons beyond their prison sentence, locking brothers up, like Clarence Henderson calls her, lock a brother up. Kamala, lock a brother up Harris, okay? But this gets even better here, folks. This is even better. The Democrats, and I dare say this, if you are a black person who is registered as a Democrat, you are registered with the party that is not wanting you to thrive, that is not wanting you to continue to have children, that is not wanting you to get into places of prominence, that want to keep you, the everyday average Joe, in a mindset of victimhood, in an oppression mentality. And the reason I say that is sometimes it's not about what you say. Sometimes it's about what you don't say. Sometimes it's about what you omit from a conversation. So we know the Constitution guarantees us. It doesn't guarantee us. It protects our rights, right? It enumerates them, but it doesn't give us our rights. Our rights come from the Almighty, from God above, okay? So now, here's the thing. Kamala Harris was given this speech. And what does this say about Democrats Okay, what does this speech say about Democrats when she says this?
A promise we made in the Declaration of Independence that we are each endowed with the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Wait, did y'all catch that?
We are each endowed with the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Wonder why she left the word life out. Wonder why. I can tell you why she left the word life out. I can tell you why she left the word life out, folks. She left the word life out because Democrats, if she would have said life there, somebody could have used that against her to say, oh, you're pro-life now. They are not pro-life in any sense of it continuing their own power, their own privilege. And this ain't a color issue. This is a Democrat power issue. You're not going to convince me for 1 second that that was not intentional. That was extremely intentional. These politicians on both sides of the aisle never say anything by accident.
A promise we made in the Declaration of Independence that we are each endowed with the right to liberty and the pursuit of happiness.
Wait a minute. Is it me or okay, so if you study rhetoric at all, what you'll know is she was going for what's called the rhetorical pause for effect. Okay, we are each, pause, endowed, pause. Like, it's a rhetorical pause for effect. But the whole fact of the matter is, folks, you got to realize what she left out. What she left out is life. When you talk about 200 and something Democrats voting to not protect children that survived the attempt at abortion, and the craziest reasons they give for there's already a bill in place. There's not a bill in place that requires medical care be given to a child that survives an abortion. These Democrats like Kamala Harris want you to think that it is okay to kill a child that survives an abortion attempt. I'll give you, for the sake of argument, I'll give you fetus while it's in there, but once it's out, it's a child. Okay, I don't agree with that, but I'm just saying for the sake of argument, y'all do not want to give medical care to a child that survives an abortion attempt. That's why she left the word life out. She doesn't believe in life. She believes in her own life. I agree with Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Not just North Carolina should be a destination for life, but our nation should be a place where people want to have their children, where people, if they're struggling, we can help them, we can get them what they need, but we're not going to do that, okay? We're not going to be able to do that if you have people like Kamala Harris making these things. And Rob pulled up something. Go ahead, Rob. Play it. Go for it.
Would require healthcare practitioners to give the same level of care to a child born alive after an abortion or an attempted abortion as a child at that same gestational age. Work to save its life, work to help that newborn. It would also require the immediate transfer of the surviving infant to a hospital. This legislation requires healthcare practitioners or other employees to report any violations of this provision to state or federal law enforcement for criminal prosecution. In addition, H.R. 26 provides the mother of an abortion survivor with a civil right of action against a healthcare practitioner who fails to provide the required level of care. It is simple. Infants born alive following an abortion are kids. They're children. All newborns deserve the same level of care. In the Declaration of Independence, our founding fathers declared that it was life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness are the unalienable rights bestowed on us by our Creator. Congress has a duty to protect these fundamental rights. This should be an easy vote, I think, for all members. And I want to thank my colleagues, Representative Ann Wagner and H.R. 20.
All right, so there you have it. The correct quote from the Declaration of Independence by Jim Jordan. Now, here's what you got to consider, folks. These Democrats, by and large, will tell you, we believe in the Black excellence. We believe Black people should succeed. We want Black communities to thrive. But yet more babies are aborted than born. Black babies are aborted than born in New York City. Sounds like hypocrisy to me, folks. Sounds like a bunch of BS to me. But don't worry about it. We'll be right back here on Top of the Morning. We got another segment to go. Don't go nowhere. We'll be right back.
TV, bridging communities worldwide. We broadcast diverse international content from Europe, Asia, Africa, and now right here in the USA. Watch us via Roku on your smart TV. Submit your own content to 1530entertainmentllc@gmail.com. Download the Millennium TV app from the App Store to stream our shows anywhere, anytime. Millennium TV.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back to Top of the Morning. You're checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. Shouts out to my twin brother, Raheem, Architect Soto, working boards this morning. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Go ahead, give us a like, share, subscribe. And if you're not following us on YouTube, check out the channel TUC Twins. Also, don't forget, tonight, 8 p.m., the Urban Conservative Podcast. We got some real good stuff coming up tonight, so be right back here, 8 p.m. tonight for TUC, the Urban Conservative Podcast. So, folks, if you live in North Carolina, you may or may not have heard about our state auditor getting involved in a hit-and-run accident, being charged with a misdemeanor, and all that other stuff, right? Here's the problem with this. What's going to happen? Does she get the slap on the wrist? Because I know if it was me or you or the average Joe that did a hit and run, I don't know if that's going to be a slap on the wrist. Okay? There's a lot of shenanigans going on with that. But one thing I think is interesting is to see the NAACP turning on their own. That's interesting to me. We got a story coming out of the Rocky Mount Telegram here. This is the Rocky Mount Telegram. So it appears the NAACP president here, Mr. Blackwell, a young man you can see there, Cooper Blackwell. He looks like one of those libtard dudes. The Rocky Mount branch of the NAACP is asking for State Auditor Beth Wood to resign. I don't think she cares. Amid the aftermath of news reports of her being charged with a misdemeanor hit and run and cited for unsafe movement, specifically Blackwell said Wood has made a practice of targeting small cities and towns in North Carolina, led by predominantly Black elected and appointed officials, with claims of abuse of power and lack of transparency. In fact, her claims of others are the mode of operation that she and her office typically employ. If this ain't the left eating their own, isn't this good? The Democrats are eating their own, because you ain't going to convince me the NAACP ain't nothing but the legal arm, the attack dog of the Democrat Party. And this guy, come on, we know what you're doing, Mr. Cooper. You know, we know what you're doing, Blackwell. We know you're trying to get you some press. You're telling everybody, look at my picture in the paper. Look at my picture. I got my picture in the paper. Now, here's the interesting thing. If Blackwell said that Wood has made a practice of targeting cities led by Black officials, doesn't that mean a Democrat is charging a Democrat with racism, folks? Isn't that what that means, that a Democrat is charging a Democrat with racism? Isn't that fun? Think about it for a second. He's saying that Beth Wood, a Democrat, is going after Black-led towns and cities and going after them. Well, here's the interesting thing about that for me, folks. Where are you at when the NAACP is at with these 5 officers that killed the Black man? I don't see no protest. I don't see no tearing down the thing. Why? Because it's Black officers that killed the Black man, and that doesn't fit your narrative? It only fits your narrative when it's a white officer killing a Black guy? I'm going to tell you something, folks. The left is falling apart at the seams. They're falling apart at the seams. When they put little young guys like him as a chapter president of the NAACP, that's insane. That's insanity. But I warn you all, don't be surprised when Beth Wood gets off scot-free, when she gets off with some 10 hours of community service. She gets off with a fine and some community service. Stepping down ain't even a thing, right? Like, so to call for her to step down just tells me y'all were trying to get some pub. I gave y'all a little bit of press because of how ridiculous that sounds. You know, I wouldn't call for the lady to step down, but I definitely think she needs to be held accountable to the fullest extent of the law. I wonder if they're going to throw the book at her like they throw the book at everybody else when they go to these places. Because you certainly know if it was me or you or the average Joe that left the scene of an accident, we'd be arrested. Matter of fact, I'd like to have Mr. Cooper Blackwell come on the morning show one of these days. If you're watching this NAACP, if anybody's out there in the Rocky Mount area, matter of fact, I got to get up with my man Jason Dilday. Let's see if we can get him on the show and have a conversation about this. I'm curious to see if y'all can find, if anybody can get us a hold of Cooper Blackwell with the Rocky Mountain NAACP, because I'm definitely interested in having a conversation. I want to know more about this attack why y'all feel like Beth Wood is going after black folk. And I'd be curious to know if you think she's doing it because she's a racist. That's what I want to know. So if anybody in the Rocky Mount area can get us a hold of Cooper Blackwell in the NAACP, let us know. We would love to have young Mr. Cooper Blackwell come on the show. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget we are going to be live tonight at 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative Podcast each and every Monday night. We have a very special thing launching in February called Soulful Sundays. I got to give a big shout out to my homeboy, Dr. Paul Brentley, who came on yesterday. We pre-recorded an interview for Soulful Sundays. I'm really looking forward to that. So, I mean, it's going to be an awesome thing, our faith-based content every Sunday. So don't go nowhere. Don't go nowhere. Stay with us. Subscribe, like, hit the button, do all that good stuff. We're going to have that Soulful Sundays launching for y'all. Now, I wasn't going to say anything about this, but I said I was going to say something about it in the promo for the show this morning. So, your man is clueless. And who's your man I'm talking about is the worst president on the planet. They still finding documents, people. They're still finding documents. And it looks like Democrats are even starting to turn on him because this thing is not a good look. Dick Durbin got up there and said, the difference between Trump and the difference between Biden is Biden didn't know the documents were there. That doesn't make it any better, dummy. That doesn't make it any better that this guy didn't know that he had classified documents floating around in his garage. That doesn't help. This guy's, we have a president who I think, quite frankly, and this is no disrespect to anybody, is out of his gourd. I think he has reached the fullest extent of brain processing power that the human brain can have at the age that he's at. And I'm not being an ageist at all. There's a certain age where you got to stop driving. There's a certain age where you just got to sit down and let people help you. We have, and is he in his 80s? Do we have an octogenarian president right now? Is that what we got going on? I don't know. Is he 78, 79, 80? How old is this guy? Right? And the fact of the matter is he doesn't know where he is half of the time. So all you folks in these cities, he's 80. He's an octogenarian. I think he might be the oldest president ever. But think about this. You literally have Democrats in urban areas and urban cities that think this guy is okay. Y'all saw how lost that dude looked standing up there with Raphael Warnock at the church. I don't know if we can pull that up in the last few seconds, but that was the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen. Y'all want me to trip on him for having some document? That man didn't know them documents was in there, but I'll tell you something. They took some notes and they took some more documents. And I think the reason they took those notes, I could be wrong, but they took those notes because those notes were incriminating. Those notes connected him more to his son Hunter's businesses. It connected him more to things that are illegal, immoral, and downright would have gotten him impeached. They're talking about, oh, we taking these things because, it doesn't have anything to do with anything. There's nothing to see here. BS, okay? It's BS. I'm telling you right now, they were taking things out of this man's house to try to protect him from the oncoming investigation into Hunter Biden and into this corruption that is what Trump calls the Biden crime family. And I'm telling you right now, there's no Democrat, there's no person, there's no radical leftist that's going to convince me or anybody else that these guys ain't corrupt. The Biden family been corrupt for years. We're talking about these documents, in some cases, $50,000 of rent that has been connected to Biden and shows where he got that money from. This dude, this is the epitome. This is the epitome of corruption. And I'm hoping that Republicans in the House and the Senate will investigate, and the House will investigate and get this under control. Look how awkward this dude is. Hold on. Look how awkward he is at this church. Just look at it. That dude don't know where he's at. He's been, that's the noise. When you look at him, that's the noise. That's the noise you hear. Right, that's the noise I hear when he talks about, when you see him. Look at her. Yo, that's it for Biden, man. Yo, listen, y'all have been checking out the best 30-minute morning show on the planet. Appreciate you being here. Reminder, we'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative Podcast. Shouts out to Ari Case, our partner over at Case Technologies. Shouts out to all our underwriters and everything like that. I'll be back tomorrow morning for another episode at top of the morning, and I'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. for the Urban Conservative. Y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Peace.